What's going on YouTube? KO Ken coming at you with TeamGS collecting our predictions for the ban list. We got John. And he's going to be instructing you on his predictions.
Wayne doesn't want to do it.
Because the Wayden is in Guam right now.
Okay, so pretty much we're going to start with the ban stuff. Have two things, and that's Sangan and 1 for 1. And Sangan because pretty much the new ruling just makes it too broken. You know, you go Torrite, Sangan, Granosaurus, attack anything, you know, as long as you get over it, pop off Sangan, make them burn for 1,000, and then get a search. You know, that's just one of the plays that it has. Like, there's too many. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if next ban list, Gobzop gets that same treatment because it works the same way. 1 for 1, pretty much because it sets up too many plays. In any deck that runs level 1 tuners or anything like that. For instance, Debris, Dandy, 1 for 1. In the hands of a good player, that is auto game. Just 1 for 1 Dandy is, you know, very, very good opening play. So it's way too broken, and I think it needs to be banned. I love that card. I love 1 for 1, but it's way too good. Way too good. For limited, obvious ones will be Trish, Hyper Librarian. I don't really agree with Trish, even though I'm putting it on here. I don't really agree with Trish being limited because I don't see any deck running more than 1. Every deck, you know, pretty much runs just 1. If it's ran more than that, it's obviously more of a Trish-based deck, and it hasn't even been, none of them that I know of have gone to a major tournament and actually topped that I've seen. You know, I haven't seen every single deck list of top 32. You know, of every single jump since Trish came out, but from what I know, that I don't think that it really should be limited, but it's going to get limited. Same thing with Hyper Librarian. Hyper Librarian though, doesn't need any explanation. Too good, even at 2 would be way too good. It's kind of like I compare it to DSF, which in that case that meaning would get banned. I can see it getting banned eventually. I don't know. Also limited is Abby. Abby's just too good as well. You know, there's been tons of situations where it's anything that's limited is you look at it as a power card. You know, Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, those are power cards. You know, when you go duality, you search for Reborn, you'll get the Dark Hole. Solemn Judgment, you know, those are game-winning cards. Abby can really be used that way. It's a great card early game, and it's a great card late game. Top deck that card, and whoever you're playing is tight. You know, if you don't have the targets, then you don't have targets, but you know, in most decks that run Abby, you're gonna get the targets really easy. So Abby's I think there's an obvious one too. Sort of obvious is also Debris Dragon. Debris Dragon, you open up with 2 and pretty much, you know, can win you a game. Putting it to 1 means that you have to play it much more skillfully. You can't just go with Debris Dragon when you see a huge field. You have to think about it, you have to contemplate, do I want to do this right now? You know, it's a much more skillful card if you put it to 1 as opposed to leaving it at 2. And it was 10 times worse when it was at 3. Plants are running rampant in the format. You know, I can't really speak for next format. I don't know too much about the Exceeds yet, but I can say that for right now, Debris Dragon is way too good. Debris Dragon plays are another thing that can win you the game. BLS, I'm just going with the rumors. It's a reprint, so why would they reprint a card that they don't plan on bringing back? I mean, then Gold Series won't, you know. Konami does it for money over here in America, so, you know, BLS, if it gets put on the limited list, you can guarantee that Gold Series 2011 is going to sell more of, you know, so, and Konami obviously wants that because they're still making them. Formula, that actually goes back to Librarian because without Librarian even coming out, I would never see Formula on this list. Even if it was run at 3 in every deck, I still wouldn't see it. But because of Librarian, it's too good going Librarian, then Formula to 0-2. GK Recruiters kind of speaks for itself. Like, you go flip Spy, get Recruiter, summon Descendant, pop, like, it's too good. That's too good. Like, that's just way too good. You know, you get too much out of that. Other thing for GKs is Royal Tribute, because, I mean, having 1 is still just as good as 2, but there's too many ways to get it. I saw people actually using Upstart. That's how badly they wanted that card. They went and used Upstart just to get it because it's that game breaking. Even at 1, it's still good. You can still just go Royal Tribute and win the game. You know, I think it makes it more skillful, but at the same time, Royal Tribute and Necro Valley together, and you'll probably lose anyway. You know, put it like this. I guess putting it at 1 as opposed to 2 is gonna make a lot of people who play against it less tight. You know, actually more tight if you think about it. Because if you open up Tribute when it's at 1, yeah, you'll definitely be tight sauce. I didn't put Sam's on the limited list. I put them on the semi-limited list, and that was the only thing I put was Smoke Signal. I kind of look at it kind of like how they did Stratos, limited, Rhoda, limited. You know, I guess maybe Smoke Signal might be limited, but I think it might be. I think it's going to go semi-limited because Sam's aren't really topping anymore, or as consistently as they did earlier in this format. People, like, as good as it is, people adjust. You know, like with every deck. Even with TGs, if you look back at just Gen Con, you know, 2 TGs topped top 16, and the reason is because people adjusted. You know, once they saw TG's top Nats, they said, all right, we got to adjust our decks so that we can play, you know, against it. So with Sam's, you know, early in the format, people still had problems dealing with it, but as you know, as the format went on, they said, all right, this is what we use, this is what we side out, this is what we side in, etc., etc. So Smoke Signal to me is the most universal card that, you know, every Sam deck will play, whether it's Aestheticism, Dojo Sams, or just regular Sams. The obvious one for my semi-limited is Tengu, because, I mean, it speaks for itself. People may say, oh, well, no, because it's not in Japan, but I'm going to have to go back to Allure, and they never gave a shit. You know, they still put Allure to 2, right? 2? Yeah, they put it to 2. Or was it 1? Something like that. So, Tengu's pretty obvious. Too many game-breaking plays with that. And it connects back to the Hyper Librarian, which then connects back to Formula. So, and the only thing I have that's no longer limited, this is my own personal thing. If I saw this come off the limited list, semi-limited list, I'd freak the fuck out. Bottomless. My reasoning for it is because no one really plays it, and if we lose priority, it definitely makes it, you know, a better card, but we don't really know. There's no set date as to, you know, if we're going to lose priority and when we're going to lose priority or whatever, but in my opinion, Bottomless isn't as good as it was in previous formats. So with priority at 3, it's not going to be crazy, so I don't really think it's going to do much. And the 2 cards that I didn't bother to process was Goyo and Future Fusion. I think that what is it? Goyo got, you guys want Goyo limited? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my teammates say Goyo should be limited, but me personally, I don't agree. It's still a fucking broken card. Go attack, even if the Exceed dies or whatever happens to it. It's a 6-star that's 28. I can think of 50 different scenarios in which I've played games and I've been like, damn, if I had a Goyo right now, I'd win this game. Regardless, you know, like, Gorz is so much better because Goyo's gone. Gorz is so much better. Just because of Goyo. Like, so many cards are much better because Goyo's not around as opposed to when it is. So having Goyo not come back actually helps a lot more than having it come back. And then Future Fusion, I thought about it. I thought because, like, it's a 1-card OTK card. In the future, who the hell knows what, you know, could come out that could just make Future Fusion go off the top. Right now, it's that 1-card OTK that I thought possibly might get banned. Possibly Future Fusion might get banned, but apparently it's too inconsistent, so guess not. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, link to our eBay and everything else will be in the description. And That's it. We're out.